Hello beautiful souls, Jessy here and welcome to Angelic Eclipse. So guys, today I wanted to talk about the really important part of this spiritual journey, which is the development of your intuition. So today I just wanted to give you one tip that will help you to develop your intuition. So let's dive into that. So guys, as I said, your intuition is a really essential part in this whole spiritual journey. Without it, you are not able to grow more into that higher self and becoming one. We want that fusion to happen with the 3D and 5D. So when you develop your intuition, when you take time to develop that, you will kind of like fuse into one. So your 3D and 5D, your higher self, will more become one person. And that's what we want to accomplish through this whole spiritual journey. We want to get in contact with that higher self. We want to become that oneness again. But first of all, let's start with answering the first question. What is your intuition? What is the difference between your intuition and thoughts? So your thoughts are literally what you're thinking. If you just stop for a sec, what is going through your mind? Maybe pictures, you may be hearing your own voice, you may be going, thinking a lot of things. Those are just your thoughts. So that has nothing to do with your intuition. That's just your mind thinking. Now your intuition, I explain it as how you're able to receive information from the 5D, your higher self. Your intuition is like divided in all your senses. We have like a lot of senses, so your intuition, how you receive that energy from the 5D, from your higher self, is what I call your intuitions. So this is divided in, as we know, the clear audience, the clairvoyance, all the clears, the clear knowing, and the clear smelling. So I'm just going to use basic names so everyone knows what I'm talking about. So you have those type of clairs. That is how your intuition works. It receives signals from the 5D, from your higher self, and it kind of like has to translate that into your own, so you can understand it. Now most people have like one of two highly developed senses, and then one or two that are less developed. But when you start developing your primary senses, the other ones will grow with it. So how do you develop them? And I know in the beginning, and that's why we seek out for mediums. That's why we seek out teachers and ask a lot, learn a lot, because that is actually the first step in how you're going to develop your intuition. To learn more about your intuition. What are they? What can I do with them? Because we're used to the limits of the 3D. We're used to just hearing and seeing and feeling. We're used to those emotions. But when you start in your spiritual journey, you will notice that there's more to see than the eye can see. There's more to hear than your ears can actually hear. So there's more going on there. And in the beginning, it is about learning what more there is to your senses. And that's how you're going to start developing your senses. So that would be my tip number one for everyone who is just getting started in this spiritual journey or want to develop your intuitions. It's about to learn what they can do. And you can learn about this by talking to different people about their experiences. So So for example, if you talk to someone and they are clairvoyant, you can ask them like, how do you receive that energy? What do you see? There are a lot of people that put their stories online. You can read about it. It's not about questioning if they're real or not. It's about truly learning about other people, through other people's experiences, because that will expand your view on how or what your senses can do, what your senses can pick up. And if something happens to you, then you'll be able to recognize it, like, hey, you know, I read about that and someone else experienced this. So you'll be able to recognize when your intuition are starting to grow. Now, as I said, you can receive the 5D, your higher energy, through different senses. So it goes with the senses that we already have: the hearing, the seeing, the knowing, the feeling. So those are things that we already have. We're just diving deeper into them and giving them that 5D aspect. We've been living in the 3D and now we're going into the 5D aspect of those senses. So it's about broadening your horizon. Now, the second and maybe the most important tip when you want to develop your intuition is to quiet your mind, quiet your soul. Because our mind is just used to always being highly active, because that is what is expected from us in this society. We're so used to just always thinking and doing things, not taking a sec to just be there. So the first thing is to really receive and to be open and to notice what you're receiving. You need to be quiet. Otherwise, it will just go past you and you will not notice anything. To quiet your mind is to meditate. That is one of the things that when we start through this journey, during this spiritual journey, it can be really tough to just sit down and quiet our mind, because our mind is just used to being active, being busy all the time. So don't make it too hard on yourself. Just start with 1 or 2 minutes and build up to 5 a day. You don't have to do more if you don't want to. But you'll notice that when you start to quiet your mind and your soul, that your senses are going to be more receptive. And my last tip would be to really focus first on 1 or 2 senses. You primarily senses. So if you're someone, for example, who already feels, so you're an empath, you feel a lot of emotions from other people, try to focus on that first. Start to develop that intuition, because that comes naturally to you. And you'll notice when you start using that one, maybe you'll get that clear knowing. Or maybe you'll get that clear hearing. So something, most of the time when one of your senses is like highly developed, the other one kind of like follows. They pull each other. All these senses at one point just comes together and it becomes one. So if you're really consistent and persistent with this, I can assure you that you can really develop your senses, all of them. But it's about consistency, and it's about trusting that you can do it and having faith in your own body and in your own senses. And this is something that I tell everyone that comes to me. The one who had already sessions with me knows this. In the beginning, you might go to mediums, go to, psychics, because you want to know information, but you are asking them to use their intuition for you. But for me, when people come to me, in the end, I want them to be able to use their own intuition, because otherwise they're always going to depend on the intuition from someone else. That whole spiritual journey is about growing yourself, relying on yourself, and trusting your own intuition. So I hope that this video will help you guys out. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment box down below. And guys, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel to grow. And for now, I just want to wish you a beautiful day and I hope to see you next time. Bye!